What if there was a podcast where one NFL legend talked about football? What about two NFL legends?
This is Wideout's World,
where the gridiron comes alive. NFL legends Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson, breaking down the game from the ultimate insider perspective. Game recaps, upcoming previews, and exclusive analysis straight from the minds of those who've been in the trenches. Wideout's World. Let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
There you go. I love that intro, man. I love it. Oh, there we are. I'm just looking on YouTube on my phone to make sure we're live on the Wideouts World channel. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Yeah, it's our second season. Season 20. Is this 3 for us?
This is 3.
This is our 3rd year.
This is our 3rd year.
It seems like only 2 years. That must be it must be that enjoyable. But we're back. Wideouts World. Irving Fryar, Michael Timpson. We're back in the house to
yes, sir.
Another season for the NFL, and we're going to blow it up this year. We're looking forward to it. I mean, the off season went by quick, didn't it? For some reason,
very much. You believe we're in August already?
It's crazy.
August, my brother. We are in August.
It seemed like we were just celebrating. We weren't celebrating, but watching the Eagles celebrate their victory over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and here we are, the blink of an eye, and the season's getting. It's like we missed a whole lot. It went by so fast. My gosh, we're in the end times. We got a few people watching too right now. Mark Grundy.
Don't go into the end times already, Irv. Just make it enjoyable. Don't say end times. You just like, oh, gloom and doom.
It's gonna be over soon.
No.
What the song say? Soon and very soon, we're going to see the King. Hallelujah.
It's good to be here. It's good to see everybody again.
Yeah.
Chiming in with Wideouts World. Happy to be here with my brother from another.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, man.
We've been together been together for, we have to tell y'all, one of these shows, we're going to tell you our story, how our friendship began. I mean, how many years ago was that? My gosh, we were both with the
25?
Patriots. That was in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
It was in the 80s. Our friendship began.
How young we are.
How stupid I was.
I said how young we are.
How stupid I was. Yeah, we're young, but I'm older than Mike. I'll be 63 next month, man.
Hey,
can you believe? Yeah, dang, can you believe that?
No, that's a blessing. A lot of people can't make it to 60. Don't make it to 63. That's a blessing.
Some of them make it to 63 and they're not in their right mind. So thank God I got a little bit of my mind left. Thank God. But y'all, we're reminiscing right now, but we do have a show for you today. A few things we want to talk about. And I think we're going to start off with some of the hottest news in the NFL today. Yes, it's the hottest, but it's probably the dumbest as well. It never fails with Jerry Jones and his Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that's one of the hot topics right now. The first game of the NFL 2025 NFL season is next Thursday night with the Dallas Cowboys going into the Philadelphia Link, play the Philadelphia Eagles. That's going to kick off the 2025 regular season in the NFL. And the Cowboys' best player on their team is not signed. And there's been just this back and forth bantering between the owner, Jerry Jones, and Micah Parsons. We're hearing different stories about what has been going on in terms of negotiations and communication, whether this one said that or whether that one said that. I heard something today, Mike. I was on WIP this morning from 8 to 10 with John Ritchie and Joe DeCamera. And they put up a clip of Jerry Jones saying that during the offseason, Micah Parsons called him when Micah Parsons was out of the country. Apparently, he called Jerry Jones, and they started talking, the two of them, going back and forth on several calls. And apparently, they had come to some type of agreement, okay? And then the next thing that happened, according to Jerry Jones, was Michael Parsons called or text and said, "Don't call me anymore," which didn't make sense to me. And then Jerry Jones gets a call from Michael Parsons' agent and doesn't want to deal with the agent. And then Jerry Jones equates that whole scenario with a child going to the mother and asking the mother in the family, "Can I have this, mother?" And the mother says no. So the child goes to the daddy and asks the daddy, and the daddy says yes, because the daddy works all the time and the daddy doesn't see the child that much. So the daddy says, "Yes, you can have this before dinner." And then the child goes back to the mama. "Daddy said I can have this." And I don't understand why he equates his interaction with Micah with a mother and a father, and a child trying to play the mother and father against one another. Doesn't make sense to me. But here we are,
drama.
A few days, a little bit more than a week away from the opening game in which the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and Michael Parsons is in the last year of his rookie contract, which is very, 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 very unusual when it comes to rookie contracts, particularly when a rookie is playing at the level that Michael Parsons is playing and is arguably the best player on the team, and Jerry Jones hasn't signed him.
Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised because Jerry Jones did the same thing with Dak Prescott. He did the same thing last year or 2 years ago with CeeDee Lamb. The same thing, where he believes because they have a contract, they should play the contract out and then sign a new contract, which in today's game and in today's methodology, when it comes to contracts and the salary cap, it doesn't work to a team's advantage to wait until a guy is in the last year of their rookie contract to sign them, or wait until they play it out, because that works too much against the salary cap. I mean, there are three players. What is it? I think Dak Prescott's hit on the Dallas Cowboys salary cap is higher than Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown together. Mm-hmm. And that's because Jerry Jones refuses to sign players early. That's one of the things I love about the Eagles. They get it done, and it's just a mess. It hurts the player and it hurts the organization.
So here's the thing: there was a TV show back in the '80s called Dallas. It was drama.
Nothing but drama.
This is nothing but drama.
Yeah.
Every off season, and it spills into the season, is drama. So you have drama again. But here's the thing. To the point that you made, that they had a conversation before. And that's what Jerry's saying. He says, hey, they basically had a deal, a handshaking deal before. And then Micah goes and talks to his agent, and his agent, I guess, tells him not to take the deal. Right. But he and Jerry had some type of verbal conversation where they had a gentleman's agreement, if you will. And that's Jerry's stance, that, hey, we kind of agreed on something. Now, I'm pretty sure the conversation pretty much went, he offered him a boatload of a signing bonus, and Michael was just green as the day is long and said, yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm. And for Jerry, that was like, hey, that's a deal.
Right.
And so now he's backing out of it because now Michael has come to his senses and talked to his agent about it. And his agent said, no, you're selling yourself short. And so now you get into the whole thing is they had a deal, didn't have a deal. And so Jerry's trying to wait this thing out. But he doesn't have this is not a good look for him. It's not a good look for the Cowboys, and it's only going to hurt him. So here we go again with the drama.
Well, and I mean, not in Jerry's defense, but yeah, he's under contract, and they could franchise him for another 2 years. So Micah, he's behind the rock. He doesn't have, if Jerry decides to be a stiff neck and not do anything, I'm sure Micah's not going to sit out and get fined and lose money. He's going to go in and get paid and then take a chance on being franchised, which I'm sure that's what Dallas would do, franchise him in the next couple of years if things don't work out. But you know what? Things have to be done. I don't know. I thought the protocol, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you know this. What's up, Tom? I see Tom and Mark who are watching right now. Tom saw me on, he said, thanks for being on WIP this morning, giving God the glory.
Oh.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So I think with what he's doing, it's not only going to hurt the team and how he's doing it, but it's also going to hurt Micah, because and I'm switching a little bit here, as well as I know, Mike, in the history of the NFL, when players miss out on training camp and then they try to come in and play, what happens?
Yeah,
they get hurt. There's some value, even as little as they put into training camp these days. There's still some value in being in training camp and getting in football shape, so to speak. You can be in shape. We get in shape, but you got to go play football, go through the motions, get some banging around to get in football shape. You cannot come off the street, for lack of better words. You cannot get up off the couch and go on the football at the NFL level, professional level, and go play football. It's not going to happen. Even if Micah does sign before the Eagles game, it would be wise if he doesn't play in the first game, because he needs some time. Yeah, he needs some time to get himself together. And the history shows, and you know this, the history shows players that do that, once they have that injury at the beginning of the season, they're whacked the rest of the season. Not that they don't play, but they're never as successful as they could be.
But let me ask you a question. Because, now they have what they call in holdout, meaning, guys go to camp and everything. They just don't do anything. But think about it. If you've been working out all off season and the summer, and then you go into training camp and you stop doing everything for about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good results. And
no,
that's
it's
what
not going to be.
That's what happens with these guys with this in holdout. I don't know, because I've never been in that situation, whether I would still continue to work out. Although being not under contract, you don't have to get into contact or anything like that, but you should be doing something.
Right.
To keep yourself in shape. Excuse me, but let me give you something. Now, I don't know how true this is, but I heard a figure, $200 million for 5 years, 147 guaranteed. Did you hear that?
No, I haven't heard as much, but back to what I was going to say before before I shifted, thank you for bringing that up. I was going to speak in regards to the scenario that you had presented about, Micah talking with Jerry and coming to some agreement with some number. And apparently Micah liked it, but then maybe went to his agent and his agent said, you're selling yourself short. It would be very hard, in my opinion, it would be very hard for Micah, as much as salaries are made available to everybody, the public, as much as he knows in terms of the guys in his position, what they're making and what he believes ahead of time that he should be getting. I'm sure he and his agent talked about it, not just this season, but last season. This is what you're projected to make. This is what you should make next year. So if he did agree to something with Jerry in terms of a number, in terms of salary, then I'm sure it was something around whatever that number finally is going to be. Because he's not, he's a Penn Stater, Doc. He's not a dummy. He's a Penn Stater.
You're talking $40 million a year. Today, Hendrickson from the Bengals, he signed he got a bonus, not a bonus, but he upped his salary about $12 to $15 million. Now he's making $30 million this year, Hendrickson. And
but Terry McLaurin just got an extension, 3-year extension, $96 million.
But I'm comparing apples to apples. But here's something I want to give you something. Micah Parsons, and I think this is Jerry's take on it. If you look at his sack production, year 1, 13. The next year, 13 and a half. The next year, 14. This year it was 12. In addition to that, his tackles, when as a rookie, he had 64 tackles. You know how many tackles he had this year? 30.
30, yeah.
Give you another statistic. The last 5 games of the season against Cincinnati, which was a loss, he had 0 tackles and 0 sacks.
Yeah.
Carolina, on a win, he had 2 sacks and 3 tackles. Tampa Bay, with a win, he had 1 sack and 4 tackles. Philly, a loss, he had 0 sacks and 2 tackles. The last one, Washington, 2.5 sacks and 3 tackles. The numbers, we talked about this. Well, his production towards the latter part of the season was not great.
Yeah, he fell off the wagon for whatever reason the latter part of the season. I don't know exactly why that was. I mean, he was still getting sacks, but he wasn't getting tackles or being as disruptive as he had been previously during last season, at the beginning of the season, and years prior. So I don't know if there was something.
Is he worth it? He's worth every penny.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but this is what Jerry's throwing in his face in terms of the statistics, because he's not up there with the top tier in terms of sacks.
Right. So. Well, I think also when you look around the league, you know, usually these rookie contracts are for maybe 5 years. Mm-hmm. But when you get into the third year, not the last year of the rookie contract, these teams are renegotiating, particularly when the rookie is doing well and is being an asset to the team and making a difference with the team, which obviously we know Micah Parsons is for the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. So going into last year, he probably was thinking, man, everybody else is being renegotiated that came out of my rookie class. They got their money, and I'm still working on the same salary, still working on the same contract. So as it got towards the latter part of the year, I'm thinking maybe that took a toll on him mentally, and he wasn't giving as much effort because he felt like I should be getting paid.
That's fair.
I should be getting paid.
Fair.
I mean, that's human. It's human for us to think that. So Gregory Bridges, what's going on? Carlise Bellamy is one of the preachers at CCU where I am right now with Bishop Hargrove, and she's a Dallas fan. She always wearing blue all the time. She said, I'm a Dallas fan, but you are all on point, sir. Yes, we are on point. You know I'm always on point when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, Reverend Bellamy.
Well, we'll
Thanks for
see how it
joining
goes.
us.
Shout out to the church crew. All right. So the next one, what you got next?
What I got next?
I know what you got next.
What I got next? What we got next?
You're going to talk about the Sanders. That's news. That's NFL news that we're dealing with. So let's dive into the Sanders.
Always news.
Let me start off with Shiloh being here in Florida.
Yep.
So I've kind of kept up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a little bit, and the thing that was unfortunate when I watched the game, you know as well as I do, they never get the first guy that throws the hit. It's always the one that retaliates and gets caught.
Is that why he got kicked out of the game?
He just hauled off and hit the guy upside the head. Now the guy kind of was playing past the whistle and he was blocking him. It was a tight end. Now he done drove him about 10 yards off the ball, to be honest with you.
Okay.
He drove him. He was in the secondary. He had Shiloh blocking him in the secondary, and he wouldn't stop. And it was a
that's because he was Shiloh Sanders. That's why he wouldn't stop. That's one of the reasons he didn't stop.
Well, that's true too. But I'm saying the tight end didn't stop.
Right.
It was a late whistle. But anyway, he got his hand up on his face mask. Shiloh took exception to that. I don't blame him. But when you're on the bubble trying to make the team, you can't just haul off and hit nobody. I mean, he was like he was in a street fight.
Right.
I mean, he just clocked the guy upside the head. I'm just like, no. And I knew then, Irv, that he was not. He had a great chance of making the team.
Right.
Maybe it's a practice squad. But when he did that, I was like, he sealed his fate.
Yep, because he got waived. They waived him.
Yeah. And so, that's what I heard out of camp, that he was decent enough for them to keep him and work with him. And I was hopeful that was going to happen.
So he was having a decent camp. I mean, obviously he's playing in the last preseason game. So he was on. Those guys playing. For those of you who don't know, most of the people playing in the last preseason game are playing either to try to get something on film because they know they're going to get cut, so that film can be, filtered through the league and they can be seen and maybe get picked up by another team, or they're fighting for a spot on the team. And Shiloh was playing in that last game. And that's holds true even when Mike and I played. The way preseason went for us back when we played, we have 4 preseason games. The first preseason game, the starters will play 2 series or maybe the first quarter. Second preseason game, the starters will play the first half. Third preseason game, the starters will play the first all the way to the first series in the second half. So we play the first half, go to halftime, then come back out for the second half and play the first series. Then we were done. Then the fourth game of the preseason, none of the starters will play. That was for the guys who were on the bubble. And that's pretty much the same in terms of the last game of the season, in the preseason, in the NFL.
His brother.
They're target. I mean, it's tough enough for them, not when they were in college, because their father was there as an umbrella and as a protector and was there as a decision maker. And now with all the voicing and all the hoopla and all the pomp and circumstance that comes along with the Sanders, father included, these guys, they got to know that they're a target.
Yeah.
The league targeting them, other players are targeting them. Did you see Shador this past weekend, how he got thrown around as a quarterback? I mean, they were just, to me, they were doing a little bit extra when they were getting to him, just trying to give him a little extra shove because of the Sanders on his back. And that's what they're going to get. That's what they're going to get. And they seem to, I don't know about Shiloh, but Shador, I watch him and I listen to him, and he really, really seems to be able to respond with the right comments, have the right attitude, remain in the right demeanor, frame of mind, and he never seems to get out of character, which obviously we know would be gas on a fire. They would take something like that and just run with it. But he was what? Let me see what it was. I got it written down here. 3 out of
his stats was trash. Don't even read them. They gave him a trash line. They gave him a trash line. They gave him trash plays.
He went 3. Terrible. He went 3 and out, 4 out of 5
terrible
series. Yeah, and then the last series was that Huntley came in. They put Huntley in. The coach put Huntley in, and Huntley went down and scored. And Shador was on the sidelines asking the coach, "Can I get back in?" The coach said, "No." You could see it on TV, the discord that was taking place there. So, I mean, he's going to be the 4th quarterback. They're keeping him. He's going to run
Did you
practice
get
squad.
That inside? Did you get the inside message that they're going to keep him?
Yeah, they're going to keep him. They'll keep him. It's not an inside message. It's just it's being written. It's being reported that and the coach said it. They're going to keep the 4th quarterback, but he's going to run the scout team for the first team against the first team defense. He'll run scout team and be the opposing team's quarterback, and he'll be on the practice squad.
Sorry, Irv. He's not a 4th-string quarterback. He's not a 4. He has talent.
Oh, I agree with you.
Talent.
I agree with you.
I would hope that he goes somewhere else, to be honest with you, to get a fair shake. Stefanski, I'm not sold on him at all.
Well, right now, they're going to keep him as the 4th quarterback.
Okay.
So he's going to be with the Cleveland Browns. And now he suffered an injury when they were here in a joint practice with the Eagles. Yeah. So it wasn't enough to keep him out, but he was banged up a little bit. But I mean, I really do love the way he has been able to handle the situation, going all the way back to the draft. He always kept a positive frame of mind. Whatever he said was always on the positive side. He never really said anything negative. He never even really looked. His countenance never really looked negative or disappointed or disgruntled or anything like that. He always, Dion has done a great job of raising those boys and keeping them aware of the fact that there are always cameras on them, that they're always, whatever it is they say or do is always going to be headlines, and that they need to make sure that they're always crossing all of their T's and dotting all of their I's. And they're doing a great job of that. I believe Shador is going to get an opportunity somewhere at some point, and he's going to do well. Now, is he going to end up putting up numbers like Patrick Mahomes? Is he going to end up winning a Super Bowl like Jalen Hurts? I doubt that, because I don't know if he has that kind of ability in him, but I do know he has the ability to be a successful quarterback in the NFL because he has too much talent. He's got the pedigree for it, and he's got the ability to go along with it, and the mindset. His mental capacity is unlimited. He just needs to get, as you know, he needs to be with the right coach, the right coach and the right opportunity. Because the coach, for those of you who are watching, coaches can mess you up. Coaches can mess you up.
He needs one of these coaches that specializes in quarterback.
Well, i.e., look at remember Bobby Hoying? Were you on the team with Bobby Hoying when Dana Bible came in?
Mm-hmm.
We had John Gruden. I'm my third year with Philadelphia. Mike was with me in Philadelphia. Everybody. It was Gruden. John Gruden had been with us the year before. He left. He went out west and became a head coach. They brought in a cat by the name of Dana Bible to be the offensive coordinator. Now, the year prior, Bobby Hoying had come in toward the latter part of the season and did very well under the coaching and the tutelage of John Gruden, because that's what John Gruden does. He's an offensive guru, and he knows how to coach and get the best out of quarterbacks. Dana Bible comes in, and y'all never heard anything else about Bobby Hoying. He was done, and our team was done. Our offense was done because the coaching messed him up, and it makes all the difference in the world, particularly when players are young coming into the league. Rich, guess who is watching right now? Richard Melton. Richard Melton's in the house.
My man.
Melton's in the house. What's going on, Rich? He's back. He said, "Oh, wow. It's wow. Let's go." Yep, we're back on another season, brother. We'll be here for those of you who are watching. We will be here every Monday. Mike decided to do the show on Mondays because he figured we'd be hotter on Mondays and more relevant on Mondays, and you get the information early from us on Mondays. So we're doing it on Mondays at 7 p.m. Yes, this is your idea.
I ain't scared. All right. Hey, so guess what? Now, the top drafted rookie wide receivers. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. I just can't wait to see who you think is the top wide receiver that came out of the draft and who's going to make the impact this year.
Who's going to be the rookie of the year? Why as wide receiver? Who's going to be the best wide receiver? He may not be the rookie of the year, but he's going to be for us the rookie of the year at the wide receiver position. Okay. And I got a couple of them. But I got one. I
told you can't do. We said we're gonna do one. You got to do one. How you gonna come up with a couple?
Well, I got one. I do have one. I do have one. And he is the 2025 draft. He's the steal of the 2025 draft.
Oh, this is a stretch. This is a stretch.
It's not a stretch.
I need a drink.
He got drafted by your old team, the Bears.
Okay.
He comes out of Missouri. His name is Luther Burden. Now, let me help you understand something. He was projected to be a first-round draft choice, but he fell to the second round for no particular reason other than the fact that the numbers ran out in the first round, and he ended up being drafted in the second round. 6-foot cat, 206 pounds, round about my size. One of the reasons I believe he's going to do well is because Caleb Williams is really starting to develop as a quarterback. He can throw the ball, he makes good decisions, and he's progressing. He's getting better every year. So that's a feather in Caleb's hat, and that's a plus for Luther. But Luther, y'all, everybody, he can play whether it's in the slot or he can get out and play the outside, get down the field, very elusive, very smart, very athletic, very, very, very. He can be shifted around. That's what makes him so valuable. He can play any one of the 3 receiver spots.
Okay.
He did that in college in Missouri, and that's what they're touting him and preparing him and coaching him to do with the Bears. He can very easily catch 90, 100 balls, particularly in today's game when they're throwing the quick outs and the quick slants to the slot receiver, and he, catch it at 5 yards, run for 2 or 3 more yards. He's not going to have a large or a high yards per catch average, but he's going to catch a lot of balls. I mean, obviously, if he stays healthy, he's motivated by the fact. I love this. He's motivated by the fact. He's doing it silently, but he's motivated by the fact that he was drafted in the second round and not the first round. But he's a guy that is a sleeper. And watch this. He is a go-getter, and he's a survivor. Why? Because he is the second youngest of 10. He got 10 siblings.
Okay.
He's got 10 sisters. They're all girls.
Oh, come on, man. That's a stretch. You gotta be kidding me. Are you serious?
He got 10 sisters. Yep. He got 10. No, he's the second youngest of 10. He's got 9 sisters. I'm sorry. He's got 9 sisters. He's the only boy, only male. He's a survivor. Listen, he's an adapter.
He has to be.
He can adjust. Yes. He knows he's a chameleon. He can fit in wherever need be. Come on, man. If you had 9 sisters, come on.
Stretch. This is a stretch.
It's not a stretch.
All right.
Listen, that's why they go back when they're doing all the research on players. They go back to your childhood. They go back to your high school. They go back to those times to see what kind of development you've been accustomed to.
That is a very interesting stat.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
but remember that name, Luther Burden. He's going to be a burden for a lot of DBs.
Okay. All right, boy, you working that one, ain't you?
Come on.
So now
he's a sleeper. He's a sleeper.
Number one. Where is he from? Missouri.
Missouri. Mm-hmm.
Name one receiver that came out of Missouri.
It don't matter. This is the first time for everything.
Wait.
I didn't do any research to see who came out of Missouri.
Wait a minute.
I don't know any receivers that came out of Missouri.
And tell me one receiver that's played in the NFL named Luther.
It doesn't matter. First time tell me one quarterback that's played in the NFL whose name is Shador.
That's a good point. That's a good one. That was a good one. Tip my hat to you on that one. That was a good one. Okay, now here's mine. Check this out.
What does that got to do with it?
It'll catch you later. Here's my thing.
Okay.
My top wide receiver drafted rookie is Emeka Egbuka.
Drafted
him in Tampa, Ohio State.
Yep.
Now, to the point that I made to you about Missouri, those receivers don't come out of there. But Ohio State, year after year, they produce some doggone receivers. Their receiver coach, Brian Hartline, does a phenomenal job with those receivers.
Can I ask you
Hold on.
Can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question because you're making that point. How many receivers came out of the University of Nebraska and did well in the NFL?
Only one.
There you go.
And you weren't even a receiver, so I'm gonna give you a little credit because you was like a slot back.
I was a wing back.
Yeah, they don't even make those no more. So anyway,
so there's a first time. You can't base it on the fact. Go ahead.
Hey, let me finish. So in Mbuka and Tampa, again, Chris Godwin's coming off his ankle injury that he busted up last year. They're not looking for him to come back until October. So I just believe Mbuka will get his chances opposite Mike Evans, and I just think that he will put up some numbers because he's smooth. You're talking about receiving. This brother is smooth. Great routes. Again, being here in Florida, kept my eye on him. Great routes. Very polished. Very polished. He was ready for the pro game when he came. And that's one of the things about the Ohio State receivers. They're ready to play right away at the receiver position. So Emeka Egbuka, I got to learn to say his name.
Say it fast.
When he was at Ohio State, he had 205 receptions, for almost 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns.
In how many years? How many seasons? 3 or 2?
4. It was 4.
4 seasons.
He played 4. But I'm looking for big things for him, that he's going to outshine Luther. I keep thinking of Luther Vandross. When you say Luther, receiver Luther. Okay,
that's all right. But when he scores, he gonna say. But to your point, I agree with you 100%. But just not with what's his name, Mbuka. Not just with Mbuka, but when you look and compare to like when we came out, particularly me, the receivers who come out of college, like in the Georgias and the Alabamas and the like you said, Ohio State, LSU, they come out ready. Yeah. They come out ready to step into a role as a wide receiver in the NFL right away because they're running prolific type of offenses and running those prolific type of routes at the college level, which, years ago it wasn't like that. They needed to be taught. They needed to be polished. They needed to rehearse and learn how to be a professional wide receiver. But now, like you said, a lot of them come out, particularly from these bigger schools and more elevated schools. They come out ready to hit day one. Devontae Smith with Philadelphia Eagles, his rookie year, A.J. Brown wasn't there, but man, he came out and was smoking it with nobody else on the other side, running routes like he had been in the pros for 10 years. So, yeah, they come out much more prepared to step in and make a difference at that position now, today, in today's game, than they did ever before in the past. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right.
That's a good point.
That's my pick. All right, so I'm writing him down. You got Luther. I have Igbuka.
Yeah.
All right.
You let's go back a little bit. What do you think about Travis Hunter? That's big news too. He's from Colorado. He's playing. He seems in Jacksonville. They seem to be agreeable with him playing both ways. I didn't think when he got drafted. I didn't think whoever drafted him would entertain him playing both sides of the ball. One, it's a lot of learning. Number two, it's a lot of toll, because he did that in college. He played all those plays his senior year in college, and that's a lot on your body. You know that, Mike. We on any given Sunday, whether it's offense or defense, you play an average. If you get 70 plays in, you played a lot. That was a lot offensively, or a lot to be on the field defensively. And if you're playing both ways and you're playing more than 70 plays a week, I mean, at some point, I would think something's got to give. What do you think about that?
I think the unfortunate part is I believe his coaching staff has gotten caught up with the hype. They bought into that whole two-way thing. He wants to be the first to do it and all that kind of stuff. I don't agree with it, because just like you mentioned, the toll on the NFL body, this is not the Big 12.
Right.
This ain't the Big 12. It's a whole different thing. The biggest thing that was, when you just said it, that was the biggest thing as a rookie that I noticed. These were grown men with 4 and 5 kids that were coming to hit you and knock you out, and had been playing for 10 years. So it's a whole different story than the boys down in the Big 12. So I would have hoped, and I hope still, that because he got banged up a little bit in the preseason. So that's just the preseason, playing limited snaps. Imagine now if you're talking about playing multiple snaps on both sides of the ball. And as well as I do, what are you going to do as an offense coordinator? You're going to send somebody like Derrick Henry around that side.
Yes, sir.
And have him come up to make some tackles and wear him out. Then you're going to go some 9 routes. If he's at DB, you're going to have some 9 routes, right, just to wear him out. I just don't see it. I wish he could. It would be a great story. I just don't think health-wise it's wise. I hope they do this, Irv. I hope they give him a package. I hope they play him at DB, and I hope they give him a package on offense, sparingly.
Right. Well, I think that's what they're doing. I don't think he's going to ever be a starter on offense, but apparently, from what I've seen in the preseason, he comes in and they have a package in for him. Not where he gets the ball, obviously, every play, because that would be too easy for a defense to defend. But a package where he's in, where, at some point he gets a ball thrown his way, but he knows those plays and he knows what to do offensively, whether he's just being a decoy. But even that, though, Mike, even if you just, like you said, even if you're just running, those extra yards, those extra steps, those extra goes down the field, they take a toll after a while. So I'll be praying for him.
And he's not big.
No, he's not big.
Pounds?
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that he's going to be able to hold up in the NFL the way he did in college. I was surprised that he did it in college, but I'll be surprised if he holds up over any period of time. He may get away with it this year, but he's not going to be able to do that for an extended period of time. If he does, he's going to prove a whole lot of people wrong. But
yes, sir.
I sincerely doubt that, having played the game just on the offensive side of the ball.
and you know what I think too? What will happen is they will shorten his career.
Of course,
if they do that too much with him, they will shorten his career.
Because you only got so much in you. You know, and I mean, yeah, but those cats are making so much money now these days. That's ridiculous.
Were you saying that because that they need to get
Well,
him out
he
on the
made more
field?
money in college than he's making now.
They
with
all
the
do.
with the NIL, yeah, he
They
made
all
more money in college. He did. So
Mm.
he took a pay cut to come to the NFL. That's ridiculous. Can you imagine if they had the NIL when we were playing? What do you think you would be doing now, or you would have done back then?
I would probably do what they did. Probably go buy me a big chain. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
I can't see because you were Mike Timpson back then too.
But you knew that this NIL was coming because they were talking about athletes being paid back in our day. So at some point it was going to come. It's just right now it's just out of control, and that's a good thing for the players. But for the game, I just think at some point it's going to implode.
Well, I think they have to attach some kind of penalty to guys who come in the portal and go to a team and then decide, okay, I don't like it here. I'm going to go and leave the next year. So just jumping from team to team, there's got to be some kind of penalty. Meaning, like, say for instance, if a cat comes in as a freshman, he's a highly touted quarterback, and he gets say he gets $500,000 of NIL as a quarterback. Decides my sophomore year I'm going to another school. Well, guess what? You can go, but you're only allowed to get half of what you got the year before in terms of NIL. Do something like that. That will at least deter them or cause them to think about it or give them some hesitation or pause when it comes to them moving to another team. Or maybe make it a quarter of what they were making in an NIL. That will cause them to, stay where they are, gut it out. Because you had to do that when we were in college. You couldn't just leave and go to another college because the coach yelled at you and you ain't like being there. Shoot, I was trying to leave Nebraska all 4 years I was there because I ain't like it out there. Homesick. But you got to gut it out. That's a part of college. That's a part of growing up. But
I like that.
And the other thing is, I'm a coach in college. I got a 17, 18-year-old kid making $4 million, $3 million, $1 million. What do I tell him? Yeah, what I'm going to say to him? He's not going to listen to me, particularly if I got to correct him.
You know what you're going to say to him? Hey, can I get a loan?
Can I get a loan? You got a couple of dollars? Let me hold a couple of dollars. You give me a couple of dollars. Ooh. I got to tell you about. I can't tell you on the air. I almost said something.
Please
I don't. Yeah,
Whatever
I got to tell you about something. Yeah.
Get ready to don't do that.
I was going to say
they're going to shut us down.
Yeah, y'all got to know me. Mike and I are best friends, so sometimes stuff comes out that's like personal and intimate things that I got to hold my horse. But you're gonna get mad just like me when I tell you about this. Footy, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. So we got something else we want to talk about, and then we'll be done. Got the last 15 minutes of the show. Our top
duo?
wide receiver duo. I think we agree with the same one, but there's only one. I mean, there. Remember the duos like Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens? Remember Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt?
No, wait, you can't go Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was with John Taylor. That was the combo.
But he was with Terrell Owens at one point too.
That was at the back. That was the tail.
But they put up some numbers.
Taylor was the one who was catching the Super Bowl touchdown.
Well, he catching the Super Bowl touchdown, but they didn't put up the same numbers that Terrell Owens and Jerry did together. Terrell came in and put up some big numbers. Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. Those cats were scary, man. Watch this. Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. Good God. Those cats put fear in defensive backs' eyes. Yep. And
but
right
you know
now,
what? One thing that you just mentioned, they all had Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes a difference. You know that. That makes all the difference in the world. I was talking on WIP again this morning. I was talking about my career, my first 9 years in New England. Man, that was almost like a waste of time for me because we were coaching changes in ownership, quarterback change, and just every week almost seemed like. We played with a guy by the name of Jeff Carlson. None of y'all know who the heck that is. and he came in like he had some juice, because when he got signed by the team, he made sure that his girlfriend, I think she was his fiance at the time, that she was the head of the cheerleaders. He made sure she got hired as a cheerleader. Yeah. You don't remember that?
No.
And he was horrible, left-hander. Jeff Carlson. Terrible. So yeah, and then I go to Miami, and career starts to take off. So I mean, I can only imagine what would have happened to my career, my numbers, had I had something decent throwing me the ball half of those first 9 years.
Yeah, inconsistent.
Yeah, it was tough. So, but my duo, my number one duo is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Those two cats, man. Individually, they're both awesome. Let me just give you some numbers. So Jamar, he played 17 games last year. He has 17 touchdowns. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, 17 games, 17 touchdowns last year.
I didn't know that he had scored that many touchdowns.
That's a bad dude. Listen, I saw him play in preseason. Joe Burrow, they were starting in the first preseason game against the Eagles. I saw Jamar Chase against Ringo, Keely Ringo. He caught it out and turned it up and scored. Just a simple out. And I'm like, wait a minute. That cat he can't be that good. But he is. He is that good. His first 4 years, this is his 5th year. His first year, rookie year, 1,455 yards. Second year, 1,046 yards. Third year, 1,216 yards. Last year, 1,708 yards.
And they gave him 127 balls.
127 balls. And for his career, he's got a 13.7 yards per catch. T. Higgins, look, 12 games, 10 TDs. He only played 12 games last year. For his career, and he's going into his 6th season, he's got a 13.9 yard per catch average. These two cats, man. And listen, the Bengals defense last year was 25th in the league. So they had a terrible defense. I don't know what they've done to increase that. I mean, to improve that this year. Offensively, they were 9th. So it's just impressive what they were able to do and what Joe Burrow was able to do with what they had. They were always playing from behind, so obviously they're throwing the ball. But, man, they were able to produce incredibly. That duo, if they ever get it together at Cincinnati and get a good offensive line, shore up that offensive line so Joe Burrow has a little more time to throw the ball. I mean, he does obviously a great job with what he doesn't have, which is not a lot of time. He gets banged around a lot, but he still is able to stand back there and deliver the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And these two guys are two of the best. Now, people will ask the question, well, what about some of these other duos, the A.J. Browns and the Devontae Smiths?
Yeah, what happened? What happened to those? That was your duo last year. What happened?
Those cats, there's a lot of talent on the Eagles. So the ball has got, and they changed their philosophy. Saquon Barkley's the man now. They changed their philosophy. I think, what is it? Each one of them only caught like 60, 70 balls last year. And they're both starters. They both, I think A.J. Brown missed more games than Devontae did, but neither one of them played every game. But each one only caught like 60-some balls. But that's because there's a new sheriff in town. That's Saquon Barkley.
That's true.
Now, when you talk about a couple of years ago, I probably would have said Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. But what I saw from Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill is supposed to be the best wide receiver in the league. But what I saw from him last year when Tua went down, it put a bad taste in my mouth. When Tua went down, he started complaining, he started murmuring, and started having a bad attitude, and Tyreek Hill disappeared. Yeah. His stats went down. I think he caught one ball in one of those games. And that's not what's supposed to happen, Mike. You and I both know. We've never had a great quarterback. I had Dan Marino for a couple of years, but other than that, we've never had great quarterbacks, and we were still able to produce. So it shouldn't matter who's throwing the ball to you. Get open and catch the ball. And Tyreek supposedly is supposed to be the best receiver in the league, but he lost a lot of respect from me last year when he disappeared like that and did it with a bad attitude. And then when the offseason came, he was talking about trying to get out of there.
Okay, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, Irving. Say it with your chest, man.
So Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they're the number one. Y'all watch them this year. They're going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of teams. They really are. Cincinnati, if they can get it together, they would be a viable team to get deep into the playoffs. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl several years ago.
But they don't. They start slow, man. They start slow every single year.
Well, they start slow because they don't have the protection up front. They don't have any pressure on defense.
When you gonna get the protection up front? When you gonna wait?
Well, that's right. That's on them. They've got an opportunity. They got receivers. They didn't need to draft receivers or anything like that. Why don't you shore up that offensive line? Why don't you shore up that defensive line? Put some pressure on some offenses to give your offense a chance to play from ahead. Because that offense is going to score. Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they're going to score points. At least won a game. Jamar had won a game last year. 17 games, he has 17 touchdowns.
All right. So I like that pick as well. But I'm gonna give you a different one just for
all right, don't say Tyreek Hill. Just don't say Tyreek Hill. I don't care who else you say, just don't say Tyreek.
Okay. I'm gonna give you one that's gonna surprise you.
No,
I told you this pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
Your Cowboys. CD Lamb.
CD doesn't surprise me.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And George Pickens. They picked up from Pitt. Now,
right.
All of that is predicated on Dak playing well. You have two capable receivers that can turn the game around for you. Now that CD has somebody like Pickens on the other side,
right.
They could be a very good duo. So I'm just gonna watch them. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not saying they're gonna be better than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, but they are worth watching. And I'm gonna give you a close second to that is now that they've signed Terry McLaurin at Washington, and they got Deebo Samuel. I like Deebo Samuel, man.
Come on, man.
Hey, I like that. I like that combo. So I'm gonna watch them as well. So we got some good picks to watch. Very good picks to watch. So we'll see.
When Pickens was signed by because Pickens is good. He's a really good receiver.
When his head is in the right place.
Exactly. When he's not, tripping. But he can flat out play. Yeah. And he was not the only target, but he was the number one receiver at Pittsburgh last year. There was a time, I think it was the year before, where, he missed that block or said he didn't want to block because he didn't want to put his body in the way. So, I'm not that kind of receiver. I was always a physical receiver. So when he said that, I kind of backed away from him in terms of, looking at him with stars in my eyes. But as far as running routes and catching balls, and now that he's on the other side of CD Lamb, when that happened this offseason, I was like, that's going to be a problem for a lot of teams if they can maintain. If Dak can keep himself together and that offensive line, they got to do some things to shore up that offensive line. They usually have been really good up front offensively, but as of late, they've had some problems. So, and
they got to get a running game. They got to get a running game.
And Dak's a good quarterback. People try to, sweep him under the rug, but you can't. Dak, when you look at his numbers are comparable to anybody's in the NFL at that position. So now that he's got a formidable wide receiver on the other side of CD, and you guys found out, and you kind of agreed with me last year that CD Lamb was the dude. CD Lamb is the cat, man. He had no help last year, and he was still catching balls, even when everybody in the stadium on defense, on the sidelines, and in the stands knew he was going to get the ball on that play. He managed to get open and catch the ball, get the first down, make the play. So now that he has some help on the other side, that makes a lot of difference. Difference. So we'll see. We're going to see what happens that first game of the season, because it's going to be a showdown. It's going to be a showdown. And you play with the Eagles, so it's a big deal when the Eagles play the Cowboys.
All right, Irv, we got 5 minutes left. Let's go with our top teams in the AFC and the NFC. So we can wrap it up. We can end on that note. All right.
Do we got to pick one? First. Okay, you go first.
I'm gonna give you both of my picks. I'm gonna give you my NFC pick and I'm gonna give you my AFC pick.
All right.
My AFC pick. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. I know Richard probably just right now he's just happy as a pig in slop.
What you say, Richard? Buffalo.
I know he's Buffalo. Buffalo's AFC team to beat. I think they're the team to beat, man. They had a shot at Kansas City in the conference game, 32-29.
Yep.
They had that go-ahead field goal with about 3 minutes left. But here's the key. Here's the key to Buffalo. They gotta have home field advantage. They cannot go to Kansas City and beat Kansas City. If they keep everybody up there with the Bills Mafia, they got a shot.
They got Joe.
AFC.
They picked up Joey Bosa too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my AFC choice. In the NFC, it's hard to pick against Philly right now. Yeah. They didn't do anything stupid this offseason.
Right.
So I think that they kept all the pieces in place. I think they have a legitimate shot to go back, and they're hungry. They're hungry, but they did all the right things this offseason. They didn't mess up with their team. So I'm picking Philly with Detroit coming a close second.
I have to agree. Those are my two picks as well. I know you're surprised that I'm picking Buffalo, but when I look at the other two teams that really stand out in the AFC, that's the Ravens and the Chiefs. I just think the Chiefs have been there, obviously, but I just don't think they have it anymore. They've been strung out and they've been weaned out, and Eagles have they put a product on the field that was a cookie cutter for everybody to use to beat the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people this year are going to use that to cause problems for Mahomes, just like the Eagles did, and they're not going to make it and be as successful this year as they have been the last few years. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they just, for whatever reason, I don't know if they're
find a way to shoot themselves in the foot.
I don't know if they're snake bitten or what. They're exciting to watch. They do well during the regular season, but for whatever reason, they just don't have what it takes to get over the hump when you need to get over the hump to make the plays in the biggest games at the end of the year when you need to make the play in the biggest game. So and the Bills,
they let us down. They let us down every time.
Yeah, let you down every time. And they know that too. So for me, the Bills are the most formidable team or the most viable team to win the AFC. One, because they've been so close in the past, and they can taste it, and they're hungry. To me, they're hungry. Josh Allen is hungry, and he wants it. And he drafted a new wide receiver, T.J. Sanders is his name. So he's got another weapon that he can use. But man, I think the Bills are going to be really, really tough this year. One, because they're going to have the attitude of toughness, and they're very, very hungry. Ravens, they've just been there and fell on their face too many times, and I think that's just going to continue this year. And the Chiefs, I think, just don't have it anymore. And then the NFC team, obviously a lot of people saying the Lions, but it's hard to bet against the Eagles right now, particularly like you said, they didn't do anything to shoot themselves in the foot during the offseason. They did lose a few defensive players. They have everybody back pretty much on offense, on the line. We have an offensive lineman, one of the offensive linemen that hurt himself. Was it Lane Johnson, I believe it was? But he's scheduled to play first game of the season. There's two positions, the safety position and one of the corners, that they're still trying to figure out who's going to start. But for the most part, they were in that same position last year with rookies, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. They were rookies, and Vic Fangio was able to get those guys together and put it together so much so that they ended up being the number one defense in the league. So with Vic Fangio there, whatever it is they have, I know he can coach them up and make up the difference for whatever was lost in those few positions. So the Eagles are my choice, and that would be a great Super Bowl. Eagles, Bills, be a great Super Bowl.
Would be.
And I think that's very, very likely going to happen. Obviously, people got to stay healthy. That's one of the things that's got to take place. Teams got to stay somewhat healthy. You can't lose your quarterback. Josh Allen has got to stay healthy. He's got to be in there playing, because they can't do it without Josh Allen. And I don't think the Eagles can do it without Jalen Hurts. So Bills and the Eagles.
All right.
It's 8:00.
You got it. I'm writing it down.
You writing it down?
Check it off. Yes, sir. We got it.
So we're going to start with our picks this year, too. Billy Bell is in the house. Richard Melton is in the house. Billy Bell said, glad you're back. We're back, too. Billy Bell said, Debo weighs more than me. Jackie Jackson is in the house. Shout out to you. Carlise Bellamy, shout out to you. Richard Melton, William Footy Harris, Gregory Bridges, Tom Petrella, and Mark Gundry. I'm going to wear my shirt the next show. Mark Gundry makes golf shirts, man. He makes some really, really nice.
Does it make your golf game better? Does it make your golf game better?
You feel better because you look better. I don't know if you golf better, but you feel better and you look better. So that's two betters taken away from batter.
Okay.
So, yeah, better. I don't know if you golf better, but there's some other betters in there.
Cool. All right.
So that's it
right,
for today. We'll be back next week. Season
same
starts
time,
Thursday.
Same bat channel, same bat time, same bat channel. Yes, sir.
We'll be here. We look forward to seeing you all. All right. Tell the people what you got. You got a farewell. So glad we had this time together.
You dating yourself.
They don't know what that is. White House World. That's us.
We'll see you
right
later.
there. Yep. We'll see y'all later. We out of here.
Right.
See you next week.
Take care.
All right. Where's the outro? Oh, there it is.
This has been Whiteout's World.
Touchdown. The legends.
Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson.
Are you freaking kidding me?
If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Whiteout's World. See you next time.
Let's go! Let's go! Go!